Hello, St. Paul's. This is Vicar Charlotte, and it's Wednesday, March 16th. We are continuing our Lenten theme of wilderness, and again, we will look ahead to this coming week's readings to talk about that theme. Last week, we talked about God showing up in our wilderness places, whether that's a feeling of isolation, a time of grief, a situation that causes us fear or anxiety. We all experience wilderness times in our lives. Have you ever heard the phrase, God will never give you more than you can handle? Let me give you some advice. Don't say that to someone who's going through a particularly hard time. It's not helpful, and frankly, it's not true. But this weekend, we're going to hear the following words from Paul in his letter to the Corinthians. No testing has overtaken you that is not common to everyone. God is faithful, and God will not let you be tested beyond your strength, but with the testing, he will also provide the way out, so that you may be able to endure it. It sure sounds like Paul is saying, God will never give you any more than you can handle. But let's take a closer look. The you written in the original Greek is plural, which makes sense because Paul is writing a letter to a group of people in Corinth, but it also signals that the message is directed to the community as a whole. Nothing has overtaken you that is not common to everyone. Everyone suffers, whether they are Christ followers or not. We can try very hard to follow all the commandments, do the right thing at every opportunity in our lives, speak kindly to everyone, but I guarantee that we'll fail sometimes. Despite our best intentions, the world is sinful and imperfect, and we face testing throughout our lives in various forms. The other key point in this passage is that God is faithful. Yes, we try to be faithful also, and sometimes we succeed. But the good news is that God is always faithful in ways that we simply cannot attain. We, like everyone on this earth, will be tested, faced with despair, loneliness, fear, self-doubt, whatever your wilderness place is. And we also know that God is faithful to us throughout every test. God provides the way out of the wilderness by facing the same testing that we do. God becomes human and lives on this imperfect earth. Jesus casts out demons and heals people who have been ignored and neglected by society. Jesus dies at the hands of humans who think they are in charge. God provides the way out of the wilderness by being in the wilderness with us. I invite you now to a time of contemplative prayer and song, and I invite you to remember that God hears our prayers in this place with us. I invite you to sing with me, Lord, hear our prayer.